Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers who are watching. Also me, I'm a father as well, so happy Father's Day to me too. Today is also World Sickle Cell Day. It's a time to educate and increase awareness about this genetic disorder that affects nearly 100,000 Americans. Here are a few facts about sickle cell disease. It is characterized by severe, unpredictable pain. If both parents have sickle cell trait, there's a chance that they can have a baby with the disease. And while the disease primarily affects African Americans and Hispanics, it also occurs in other ethnicities. My guests today are three women on the front lines in the battle against this chronic illness. Wayne County Prosecutor Kym Worthy is board chair of the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America's Michigan chapter. Dr. Wanda Whitten-Shurney, a pediatrician at Children's Hospital of Michigan, heads up the local group. And Anastasia Worthy is youth ambassador for the association. Thank you all for being here on American Black Journal.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. So let's start with the fact that this is a disease that I think everyone's heard of,
yes,
and most people have no idea what it is.
Yeah, and Stephen, what I always say is people don't know much about sickle cell disease, and unfortunately, a lot of times what they do know is wrong.
Is wrong.
And we need to correct some of those myths.
All right, so talk about what some of those myths are.
So sickle cell disease is a blood disease. It's a disease of the red blood cells, where the red blood cells take on an unusual shape. They're shaped like a farmer's sickle, and they're hard and they're sticky, and they block blood vessels. So when the blood vessel gets blocked, that stops the flow of oxygen, and that's what causes the hallmark of sickle cell disease, which is pain. Okay, so one of the problems that we're really fighting against is the fact that when our patients go to the emergency room, they're frequently viewed as drug addicts. So the myth is that our patients are drug addicts, and the fact is that they suffer from unpredictable, severe episodes of pain that require strong narcotics.
And people at the hospitals assume they're drug addicts because they're looking for pain relief?
Because they're looking for pain medication. And when they come in, they know the dose of their narcotic, they know which narcotic they want, and those are all the things that, you know, put up a red light, in, so to speak, in the physician's mind, oh, this person is drug seeking.
Right.
But we teach them, you know, and they require higher doses of narcotics because they're tolerant, because they've been on the medications for so long.
Yeah. Is this a disease that is at some point going to be curable? I mean,
well, actually, there's another myth. Some people believe that there is a universal cure, but bone marrow transplant, because all of your blood cells come from your bone marrow.
Sure.
So if we take away your bone marrow and give you someone else's, we can cure your sickle cell disease. But unfortunately, you have to match, you know, and so every patient with sickle cell disease doesn't qualify for a bone marrow transplant. And then the other thing is that there are some certain risks associated with the transplant.
Right.
So we always have to weigh the risks against the benefits when we're talking about whether we're going to transplant somebody.
Yeah. Kym and Anastasia, this is a very personal issue for the two of you. Talk about
it
how that
is.
works.
In fact, when I discovered that Anastasia had sickle cell disease, the first person I called was Dr. Shurney.
Is that right?
Because we went to Michigan at the same time. And so it's been up and down. She's had more ups than downs, but there have been very, very severe pain episodes. In fact, last year, just a few months ago, she was in the hospital for almost 3 weeks with a very, very severe, more severe than she had ever had before.
Yeah. Anastasia, talk about what that's been like for you.
It's been a struggle, but at the same time, it makes me who I am. It gives me more power and strength to go through my everyday tasks. Obviously, I had to take more precautions, make sure I'm hydrated, eat really healthy and stuff like that, and make sure for at least school to keep up on my schoolwork and such. But at the same time, I think I've gotten used to it, and I think a lot of people think it's a lot worse, but then like at the same time, I think of it as just part of me at the same time.
Yeah. How do people react when you tell them that that's what you're struggling with? Do they seem to understand what that means?
Usually people don't really know what the disease is. And then when I explain exactly what it is and how there's different levels of it, there's anemia and then there's the disease, then they understand a little bit more about what I'm going through. And I think they think it's an everyday thing that I go through, like I'm in pain all the time, and I tell them, no, I'm not in pain all the time. I'm a normal person. So.
Yeah.
But oftentimes when she is in pain, she's gotten used to it, and she can still, you know, live her daily life.
She has to
she has to function a lot of times in pain.
Wow, wow.
And
there's not a way to relieve that pain? I mean, regular pain relief doesn't
well,
work the same?
Well, if it's too bad, she has to be hospitalized like this last time. But it's at the point now where even morphine doesn't work for her.
Wow.
And so she has to be on stronger medications than that just to control her pain.
Yeah. Talk about today being...
Okay, today is World Sickle Cell Day.
Right, right.
Okay?
What does that mean?
And that means that we want everybody in the world to recognize that we still have a number of challenges to face with this illness. Every baby born in the state of Michigan every baby born in the country is tested for sickle cell disease at birth. And one of the things that happens is when I call the parents in Detroit to tell them that they have a child with sickle cell disease, frequently the mother knew she had sickle cell trait, but the father didn't know. And so it comes as a total shock. And one of our goals is to help people make informed decisions about childbearing. And I always say Kym was really able to do that because she she had a full educational session, so she knew what challenges she was going to face, and she decided that she wanted to take Anastasia. So that worked out really well.
Right. What are some of the things that we're learning about this disease? I would imagine that research and things like that teach us more about.
Yes. One of the things that's happening
and
is we're getting better and better at bone marrow transplant. And we have one disease-modifying therapy, and that's called hydroxyurea. But unfortunately, a lot of patients are afraid to take it because it's a chemotherapeutic agent, and a lot of doctors are afraid to prescribe it. So we're working on educating both patients and doctors. But the really important thing about June 19th is that we're launching a campaign called High Five for Sickle Cell. Okay, and I'm kind of using the premise that Bernie Sanders and President Obama, you can raise a lot of money just getting a little bit from everybody, because everybody's got $5.
Right.
So we want you to give a high five to a friend or hold up a $5 bill and say, I've got 5 for sickle cell, high five, give 5. Take a selfie, put it on your Facebook page, and then go to SCDAAMI and donate that $5 to the Sickle Cell Association, and we will put it to good use.
So just like the other challenges you've seen, we hope that this is not only spread education and knowledge about this, but raise a little money too for the causes. And it's for?
It is for client services. And one of the things, because of our patients getting accused of being drug addicts, we would love to open a day treatment center where we can have compassionate nurses that know how to start IVs, that believe the patients are in pain and can give the proper pain medications. Because another area of research is proving that the longer you're in pain, the worse your pain gets. Our patients frequently have to wait for hours in the emergency room before they get their first dose of pain medication. So
I said in the open that the disease primarily affects African Americans and Hispanics, but that other people can be affected as well. I would imagine that also has something to do with both the lack of education about it, the attention to it, because it's a black disease.
Absolutely.
It's not treated the same as some other things.
There you go. That's the truth.
Yeah. How do we change that?
Like this, educating people, and getting people to be more aware and getting people to believe that this is actually a problem and getting people to be knowledgeable before they have a child with sickle cell disease so they know what challenges they're facing. We have a number of federal grants that are helping us to educate people so we can get the proper care.
I mean, is the recommendation that people get tested for this before they decide to have children?
Yes.
Is that the...
That's absolutely the recommendation. We don't want anybody to have a baby with sickle cell disease by accident, only by choice when you know what all your options are.
Right.
And it's great that you're doing this because as I mentioned to you before, you have seen all kinds of diseases covered in the media, social media, but never sickle cell disease.
I was going to say, no one really writes or reports on television.
I have my theories about that, but I'll just leave that alone.
I mean, it's the same thing we were talking about earlier, that it's a black disease. Anastasia, I want to end with you. Talk about how you see your future and how you see this disease either affecting it or not affecting it. I mean, I think it's sort of important for you to put that in perspective.
Well, I see my future. I mean, I'm going to obviously struggle with this disease for the rest of my life. However, since I know what to do in certain circumstances, when I am in pain, I know how to take care of myself. I know what health benefits to keep doing and what helps me, what doesn't help me. So I think another myth is that a lot of people die at an early age if they have sickle cell disease, and I don't plan on passing away anytime soon, obviously. I continue to keep being in school and...
I was going to say, talk about what you're doing. You're enrolled in college right now,
I am.
right? What are you studying?
I'm enrolled at Wayne State University, and I'm studying broadcast journalism.
Well, you can come sit here, and I'll go sit there and be the guest.
Stephen, we've got to talk about the walk.
The walk, right, yes.
Okay, the High Five ends in September. June 19th is World Sickle Cell Day, but September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. And on September the 10th, Saturday, at the Museum for African American History, registration 9 o'clock, we're having a walk, a sickle cell high five awareness walk. And it's going to be a really great event. We're going to have face painting and balloon artists, and we're going to walk around the museum. We're going to feed you lunch, and it's going to be a really wonderful awareness raising event.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys have a lot planned.
Yes.
All as an attempt to raise awareness and let people know that if you're living with sickle cell disease, it's not a death sentence, and you can live a relatively normal life.
Yeah, and the awareness part. I mean, that's the
very
thing,
important.
given how little people seem to know about it. All right, thank you all for being here, and good luck.
Thank you.